I do a good omelette.
Yes.
Yeah.
What's
Very
your
good.
recipe?
Yeah. Eggs.
Yes.
Why?
Thank you. Thank you.
Are you a cook or are you a florist?
You can't ask this, San Pellegrino. Two incredible chefs with me now, representing France, with their roots in French tradition, but with global vision. Time to make some noise for our guests, please. Julien Royer and Christophe Paquet, everybody. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Now, Julien, I believe you're going to be a bit of a translator.
Yes.
Yes.
That's the deal.
Not only am I English, I'm also from Manchester. So you got the Mancunian accent as well
I'll try my best.
to deal with. Thank you so much for doing it. The team said to me yesterday, oh, one last thing. Can you speak French? I said, no, none,
Nobody's perfect.
none. Yes. I try. After this interview, I'll be fluent. Okay, are we ready, guys?
Yes.
We're gonna begin 7 deadly sins. We begin with greed. Let's do this. Julien, you're first up.
All right.
Okay. Have you ever picked a cheaper ingredient hoping no one would notice?
Actually, yes, I did, but not at a restaurant. Home.
Oh, yes.
For my wife, and she did notice. She was not too happy. She was not too happy.
She knew.
Yeah.
What was the
It
ingredient?
was a tomato salad,
Uh-huh.
but it was not the usual tomato that I usually get from work. It was from a different supply, and they were clearly not as good as the one I usually
wow.
bring home. So yeah, she was not happy.
She knew. That's a good wife there. We should have her as one of the judges.
Yeah,
Next
she's a tough
year.
critic.
She's like,
Oh yeah.
that's a cheap tomato. Okay, Christophe,
Yes.
you're up next. Here we go. Have you ever cooked something thinking this is worth way more than what they're paying for it?
Je crois que souvent, ça m'arrive de
Donner plus.
de cuisiner, de donner beaucoup plus que ce que je ressens quand je goûte, en fait.
So he is the kind of chef that he likes to give a lot, and he's very generous into the cooking. So he probably gives a lot more than what people are actually perceiving the value of.
He's a saint. Saint Christophe.
Tu es un saint.
Toi saint.
Saint Christophe.
Toi saint. Yeah. 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 Okay, we're going to go on to wrath. Here we go. Wrath for Julien. Here we go. Is there something about young chefs today that really gets on your nerves?
Oh yeah.
One just left.
The one thing that really kind of annoy me is too much flowers. It's like, are you a cook or are you a florist? You know, there's flower everywhere. I mean, I don't mind one flower if it's if he has an impact and if it's soulful for the dish and he brings something to the recipe. But sometimes you feel like they are florists, they are not cook, you know?
That's my quote of the day. Are you a chef or you're a florist? It's amazing. Christophe's wrath question, Julien, if you could relay to him. Have you ever shouted in the kitchen and then realized you were wrong? No,
Never.
no, no.
It's not.
Never,
Never. Never.
never,
Never.
never. And
Never.
that's a fact. That's the truth.
Joker.
Yeah.
It's possible?
Yeah.
Joker.
Maybe once, maybe. Okay, let's move on to sloth. Because I always think chefs are never lazy, but let's find out. Julien.
Yeah.
Which recipe would you never make again because it's just too much work?
Oh, nothing is too much work, but one recipe I will never make again, and I told my team lately, it's a millefeuille. Because I went to a place, like we can name it, I went to a restaurant that is called Beaux-Arts in Brussels. And the guy served me like the best millefeuille I ever had. Like really the perfect millefeuille the one that you dream making for years. And after tasting his millefeuille, I was like, fuck, no more millefeuille.
Forget it.
No more.
Forget it.
His one is just too good, you know.
Yeah.
I gave up.
That's good. That's a good, honest answer. That's a good, honest answer. And okay, what about, we were hearing about when the chefs have a day off and they make just something quick and easy. What do you both like to cook on those lazy days? Quick.
Quick, I go out and eat out. When I cook home, I do a pasta usually. I do a nice pasta. And I do a nice salad, and if I have the right tomato, I do a nice tomato salad.
You're like that to your wife. Fingers crossed she likes, yeah? And Christophe, what do you do as your simple, lazy food?
Probablement des œufs, une omelette. J'adore
omelette.
l'omelette.
Mhm,
Omelette.
yeah.
J'adore l'omelette.
Yeah, I love an omelette, yeah. I do a good omelette.
Yes.
Yeah.
What's
Very
your
good,
recipe?
Yeah. Eggs.
Yes.
Ouais.
Thank you. I'll share it with you guys later. Okay, next up we go to envy. Okay, here we go, Julien. Is there an ingredient you never use because someone else does it better?
No, actually, I'm curious. It's more like I will come back to the recipe of the millefeuille, and this guy like blew my mind. And I will say I will never try to do this again. But ingredients, I'm always happy to try. I'm very curious to experience. And even if I fucked up, and even if like the thing is not really working the first time, I'm a hustler, you know. I like to try things, and most of the time it won't work the first time, but I'm happy to do it 100 times if it's necessary. So I'm curious, yeah.
When do you know like the recipe is that's it? Or when do you know it's time to give it up and you know it's not working?
It's always a bit tricky, you know, because we have some kind of signature dish or dishes that are becoming signature that we are so fed up with. Like, not fed up with, but it's very repetitive. You know, doing once a great dish, it's easy. But do it every day with a high consistency, it's very difficult.
Hard to do.
Not easy.
No. Christophe, your envy question. Okay, this is good. Have you ever felt somebody stole one of your ideas?
Non, je
feel-
vais vous faire une confidence, mais vous le dites à personne.
Okay,
He's going to give us a secret, but
don't tell anyone.
J'ai été un jour dans un restaurant, dans un très grand restaurant, pour faire qui était organisé pour mon anniversaire.
So he went once to a very famous restaurant for a dinner that was organized for his birthday.
Et quand j'arrive, je vois dans la salle deux assiettes qui ressemblent à mon aioli.
So when he arrived in the restaurant, in the dining room, he saw two plates that look like his signature dish aioli that he has mastered for years.
Le même plat.
The same dish.
Alors, je suis très contrarié parce que le chef est un ami.
So he was a bit bugged and surprised because the chef was one of his friends.
Et je continue dans le restaurant, je vais m'asseoir à ma table. Et là, je vois arriver sur un plateau, derrière pour la table, encore deux assiettes avec le même plat.
So he went to sit in one of the dining room table, and then he saw a tray with a waiter behind him, bringing again two of the aioli dish that is his signature dish to a next table.
Et en fait, c'était mon chef qui avait organisé dans la cuisine de ce grand chef une surprise pour moi.
Okay, and it was actually a surprise from one of his chefs. As a tribute to him, they were cooking his dish on that day.
C'était le...
Okay, next up, we are going to go to pride. Let's talk about the chef's pride. Okay. Okay. This again is too crazy. Julien, if you could take away a Michelin star from a colleague.
Oh no, that's not, no.
We can't ask that.
I know.
We can't ask that. No. That's next series. Yeah. Okay. We can't ask that. Julien, what ingredient do you use more for vanity than flavor?
More
Do you?
for vanity than flavor.
Is there one?
Yeah, actually, not for vanity. We don't use for vanity. I'm not a huge fan of caviar, for example, but I use quite a bit of caviar in my restaurant because people in Singapore, people in Asia, they love caviar. And again, I'm running a business, so I can't only do things that I'm a huge fan or I'm feeling, that's my taste. You have to find a kind of balance between what you want to do and what people want. And people love caviar over there, so
Yeah.
I give them some caviar.
Yeah, I'd love some right now. Do you have any?
Well, I'm sure we can find our friend for San Pellegrino.
In your pocket, like this. And okay, Christophe, let's do your pride question. Okay, Christophe, do critics still matter to you, or are you your own toughest judge?
Ma femme est le juge le plus important.
Same for him. His wife is the most important critic.
Non, j'ai eu la chance dans ma carrière professionnelle d'avoir beaucoup de choses et de tout recevoir. Et aujourd'hui, je crois que la plus belle critique qu'on peut avoir, c'est quand les clients sont assis à table et qui sont à notre restaurant, que ça leur plaît. Et je crois que c'est ça la critique la plus importante pour moi encore aujourd'hui.
So he said that he has been recognized. He has many accolades and awards, and he's been fortunate to have all of this during his career. And nowadays, the critic that is the most important for him, it's actually the one from the guests that come and make the effort to go to his restaurant and spend some time with him.
Yeah. Well, that's the correct answer, I feel. Correct answer. Okay, let's do Christophe's question for gluttony. Be honest, Christophe, is there something on your menu that you wouldn't actually order? Sure.
Est-ce que tu as un truc sur ton menu que toi-même tu comprends que tu
Surely
commandes
Non,
pas?
non, non.
No. Why would, that's a silly question.
Mais toutes les questions sont pour moi.
No. Well, you won't make it, would you?
Yeah.
Non,
Yeah.
parce que, aujourd'hui, mais comme toujours, je crois que quand on fait la cuisine, on ne peut pas mettre quelque chose à la carte ou au menu qu'on n'aime pas, c'est pas possible.
If he says that he can't put something on his menu that you don't like.
Yeah. Silly question. Okay, final sin. We turn to lust. Okay. Julian, do you think that food can really be an aphrodisiac?
Oh yeah, I think that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I've been. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Not like aphrodisiac. At least you can seduce people through food and cuisine. That's for sure. And yeah, when you touch people's heart and you give emotion to people through cuisine, a dish, and you transform a moment into memory, you bring some emotion. So yes, it can be an act of romance almost, So you can definitely seduce people through cuisine, yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah, okay, yes is the answer. Yes,
Yeah.
it is. Yes. Christophe, your lust question is, what do you think is the most intimate dish to cook?
Je crois que le plat le plus intime à cuisiner, c'est un plat dans lequel on va, je parle en général, on va donner tout ce qu'on a envie, tout ce qu'on peut donner en fait. Et que la cuisson est réussie, que l'émotion, quand on regarde les gens manger, voilà, je crois que pour moi,
So it's like a recipe where you give all your skill, all your love, and that will translate into emotion for the person that's going to eat it. Yeah. It's as simple.
And before you guys go, can I ask which sin do you think you are both each most guilty of? Greed, wrath, sloth, envy, pride, gluttony, lust.
Maybe lust.
Lust. Wow, okay.
T'aimes bien ce
Yeah. And Christophe?
Envie, la luxure.
Pride.
Pride.
Come on. Christophe, thank you so much. Julian, thank you,
Thank you,
everybody.
guys.
Thank you, guys. We did it. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.